So I've got a treat for you today. I got a treat for me today. This is my little shop. Little woodworking shop. It is 11 by 11.6 and it's tight. So when I went to get a table saw, I bought the smallest, cheapest, crappiest saw I could find. This is that Ryobi 10-inch, comes with that spindly little stand with the wheels on it. Job site saw. It's got the cast aluminum top and it's flimsy. This one's pretty true, but as you follow it down, you see holes in it. You know, it's probably fine for a job site saw, but my background is framing. We never had a table saw on a job site. We snap a line and use a skill saw, you know. So I really didn't know what I was looking at. I just found the cheapest thing I could and tried to make it work. And I made it work for about a year. I built this cabinet for it. This thing comes with a plastic insert. I made my own insert. That's teak. The height and the angle of the blade on this is horrible to adjust. You can't lock the height in. The angle is, you know, you're loosening that and fiddling with it forever. And it's loud and it vibrates like crazy. I figured I'm never going to use this on a job site, and I've got it in a cabinet. Why don't I try to find something close to a cabinet saw with a real top and a real fence and some real controls. I started looking around. I wanted to get something as close to a cabinet saw because I'm not taking this out on a job site. I'm retired. So I started looking for something like a cabinet saw, but it's going to fit in this place. And I found something for under 400 bucks. Found it at Home Depot. And I'm excited about this. It has a belt-driven saw, 10-inch, cast iron top, weighs 200 pounds. What do you think, Rube? Huh? Can you help me get it in the back there? It's heavy. What do we got here? It's a Ridgid 15 amp belt drive induction motor, 120 volt, 10-inch Contractor table saw. So they're really short on the specifications on this, but it's 15 amp motor, 120 volt, 60 hertz, RPMs on it's 3,600, no load speed. Rip capacity is 30 inches to the right of the blade, 15 to the left of the blade. We're gonna verify all that. Dado capacity up to 13/16. Depth of cut at 90 is 3 1/8. Depth at 45 is 2 1/4. The diameter of the blade's 10-inch. The arbor's 5/8. So they don't tell you about the size of this thing at all. I did a little research online, and I think it's going to fit. Okay. Pretty heavy-duty stand. That's nice steel tubing. This might actually be a decent grip gauge. All metal, adjustable. You might actually use that. Safety stuff, handles, stuff to put it together with. Wheels, instructions. Oh, there's the fence. Get that out of there. That is a nice, heavy fence. Break out the instructions. Replacement parts, that's good to know. First thing they say is put the stand together. They don't tell you how to get it out of here, so I'm just ripping and tearing then. If that's the case. Okay, there it is. How nice is that? Bolt through there, bolts through here. Where's that parts bag? There we are. All right, parts A. There's B. There's C. These are tools. D and E. All right, I got the legs on. Now I got to put the wheels on it and the levelers. That took 10 minutes. It's a little awkward to get that all in there. I'm ready to roll this over. Pushed it over as far as I can, and but this is the dilemma here. You roll it over, and that dust chute is going to get broke. So they say put a 2x4 alongside of it. Now they're showing it out of the box. I'm going to leave it in the box and just do it like this. I think this will work fine. That worked. Okay. Now I can save the box. That is so pretty. So pretty. Look at that. So 2 sets of rails. I assume the smaller ones are for the back. Those are for the front. We'll get that done. I'm taking a coffee break. Putting the rails on. They've got this little gauge for this. And by the way, the milling on that's really bad. That's as sharp as a razor. So found out the hard way. This is what you do to adjust that. I haven't got it adjusted yet, as you can see, but that's pretty nice. Got the rails on, and we're going to put the wings on. And just so you know, these are, I don't know what gauge steel that is. They're steel, but I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little bit of flex in it. Oh, here you go. A little flex in there. I'm pushing pretty hard on that, hurting my thumb, but just so you know. So I am making sure that this is nice and parallel, straight, and it's the inside rail that has to be parallel. The outside, the machining on this is just a hair off. I mean, that might be a 30-second, but you can feel it. But this outside isn't as important as the inside. The inside needs to be flush, and that has to be straight, because that's where you're going to get your accuracy from. Adjusted my measurements. It's a beautiful thing. This was just perfect right out of the box. I mean, that is nice. So nice. Driving knife fits right in there. No problems with it at all. Don't have to adjust it. This fence is dead on. I mean, just dead on right out of the box. No problems there. Perfect. That is perfect. And we'll check get that on an outside tooth. Bring this over. Perfect. So when the fence is disengaged, it is sloppy. That's when the handle's all the way up. Now, if I just let the handle fall down, it's actually pretty tight, and it'll move with the handle just falling down. Oh, I may have to take that back. That, with the handle just resting, there's hardly any slop in that at all. Now, here's the other thing. Let's come over here and check this. We're going to set this up right on the edge here. Crank it down. I'm going to go over to the other side of this and just see how strong this fence is. Just a little play in it. That's me pushing on it pretty hard. So it's all assembled, and all said and done, Ridgid, you shorted me 1 hex head countersunk screw, and I can't forgive you for that. There should be extras. Always pack extras. I'm going to turn it on next. Just a comparison. Here's my old saw. Here's the difference in the way these two sound. Here, let's crank this on. I don't know what kind of decibels that is, but that is loud. It's just loud. Come over here. Crank this up. Oh, that's so sweet. No vibration. Look at this. No vibration, hardly at all. Hardly any. Oh, that sounds so sweet. I'm gonna like this saw. Let's see the stopping time on it. It's got a brake. It does. It's got a brake. Let's start it up. Slow start. It's got a slow start and a brake. We'll see how good that motor is when we start using it. Okay, there's one problem out of the box that I don't like. I'm gonna have to do something with it, and that is I've got this where it connects nice and flush. I mean, that is perfect on that side. On this side, it is not, and it's enough to where when you're riding along here, without having this all the way up, it hits. it hits, and it hits it pretty darn good. So I'm gonna have to file that off and ruin this pretty face. I don't like that. You know, I know why they've got this broke up into 2 bars for shipping reasons, but if you're not gonna mill that perfectly, that's a problem. I'm gonna have to grind that off and ruin that pretty face. So pretty sure I'm keeping this saw. That so far is the only thing I don't like. Cast iron tabletop, like I said, the wings, they're steel, not the greatest, but I can beef those up. That's not a big deal. I'll probably close in this. It's 220 pounds in the box. This is not ply, that's aluminum. The handles are, you know, that hard plastic. You kind of expect that. That's aluminum. This is steel. And the other thing is, I am really thrilled with this miter gauge. I mean, that is right out of the box. There's just probably a 30-second of play in there. And that's it. This is nice. It's all got push lever to pop into your standard, like there's your 70, there's your 60 degree, and it clicks in. And it clicks in, and there's no play with that where it clicked in. Smooth as can be. It's like butter. Half the time you got to throw these things away. This is a keeper. I like it. It's got holes in here where I can extend the fence on that, add stuff to it. Looked at this real close. It's don't have to do any alignment, but if you wanted to, you can. All these are adjustment screws that you can raise and lower that with. Okay, the overall width on this, from rail to rail, 31.5. Now, of course, your your fence is 3 foot, and you got your handle, you're 40 inches sticking out there. Left side, we're looking at 21 inches. 21 inches with the wing, 11 inches with the cast iron. On your right side, we've got 9 inches on the cast iron, 19 inches on the wing, and 30.5 inches to the fence. Overall on this, we'll go from this rail here, because that's going to get in the way if you're planning on a tight spot like I am. You are rail to rail. This is a little sketchy, I'm guessing here, but you can see that about 62.5. The height on this is right at 37 inches. If you want to get rid of the rollers, you drop another inch, probably 36. This, when I want to pull it out, step on that, pulls right out. I'm not banging into my other saw here. Oh, this is going to be so stinking sweet. Flip it up, level again. Praise the Lord. All right, gonna rip some maple. Here, I'm gonna leave that there to show you how vibration free this thing is. Got that set for 1.5 inches. Let's see what we got here. Next thing is to find a home for this. You know, the size of it is not bad for my shop. I thought maybe it was going to be just a hair too big, but I think it's going to work out fine. I am just very, very, very pleased. Except for this one little detail here. It's going to have to ugly this up. I'll paint it. I'll grind it and paint it. So it took me about 2 hours to get it all put together and adjusted. And minor adjustments. I hardly had to do any adjusting on this at all. Instructions are horrible. Yeah, you'll figure it out though. If you got any mechanical ability at all, you'll figure it out. I am just so pleased with this. I really don't have much bad to say about it so far. I haven't started using it yet. I may have another review coming if I find things I don't like, but so far. Now there's another saw out there that I believe is made by the same manufacturer, and it's Delta. I can't see any difference in this at all in their contractor model and this. I think it's actually the same saw, just with a different name on it. I really do. I bet you all the parts are interchangeable. I would bet. Now, I don't know if it's a better motor or not, but this is a sweet saw. I'm very pleased. $400, $399, $80 delivery from Home Depot. Tax on it in California, another $35 or so, 500 bones for a very nice cast iron top. Soft start, brake, fine adjustments for height and angle, all locked in. You got your tools for blade changing on the machine, push stick. You can hang your fence over here if you want. On rollers, everything's metal. I'm very pleased. Very pleased, Ryobi. I just want my one nut back. Guy shouldn't have to give up a nut. Okay, it's a bolt, I know. Sounded better though, giving up a nut, you know. Okay. Let's see. This is going to be home for it. Let's see. Step on that. Let her down. I can even use that there for little stuff. That table's going away. So, am I happy? I am very happy. Alright, gotta redo the whole shop. Give me a chance to redo some stuff. That's going. That's gonna go. Get rid of that saw. Anybody want to buy a cheap used Ryobi? Alright. I'll let you know how it works. I've got a hunch it's gonna be fine.